So For Colored Girls premieres at the Joburg Theatre today. Now, the play is based on stories told by African-American writer Ntozake Shange of women who have gone through pain and hardship but managed to get their strength back. The South African version, For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, highlights the issues of gender-based violence in the country. Our play director, Mr. James Ngcobo, joins us in studio for more on this exciting show. Good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Naledi, thank you so much.
I must tell you, I saw the billboard, I think just over a week ago, showing that the play is coming, and I shuddered because I remembered how I reacted when I first saw the movie.
Yeah.
And I think I cried for 80% of it. Because it is such a powerful story to tell. Let's talk about why it was important to bring it to South Africa firstly.
Well, I mean, I've always believed that as part of how we curate the spaces in the theatre, one looks at local content that we are producing, around the ideas of development of new writers and new directors. But at the same time, we have to play in the universal space. Yes. We have to have this quest about us that says we have unbelievable talent in this country that is able to immerse themselves in stories irrespective of where the story comes from. And this being February also, it's the International Black History Month, and just the linkage of us as a country with the diaspora is absolutely exciting for me. And then Ntozake. These stories. I was sitting with Tate Mfundivunga,
yes,
and he saw the original when it opened on Broadway. He even came to visit the cast.
Yes.
He sat in the rehearsal room and saw us working with a lady who comes from Chicago, just on the authenticity of the accents.
Yes.
Because we're doing it in its original form. And I'm just so blessed. I have the most amazing, 8 women that I see every day and get into rehearsal with them. And it's been beautiful to see how each one has just been finding their story.
Yeah.
And for me also to keep saying to them, we are not portraying angry black women. What we are doing is we are telling stories of these women that have been through the whirlwind, that have been through the storm. And the most positive thing about it is that the fact that they are standing, facing the world, telling these stories means that those women are victors.
Yeah. As a poetry lover myself, I think one of the things I've certainly enjoyed about For Colored Girls is the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been so beautiful to work with, the writing of the poetry. I remember the line, somebody almost took all my stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the characters and how much fun it's been really building those characters in a South African context.
Yeah. I mean, the fun and hectic to deal with. Because when you read it, and I'm so happy you're a lover of poetry, when you read it, you then realize that the writing is two-pronged. The writing is autobiographical. There is definitely things that Ntozake herself went through that are in the piece. I mean, there's a beautiful one that Lady in Purple does, which is about a woman who's met a guy and she's thinking that it's going to be an amazing relationship. He's busy dealing with her past baggage and she says, I have no more other tricks to play.
Yeah.
And she's basically saying, if you can't have me like this, then, so you get stories that are clearly about her as a little girl growing up and wanting to find her history as I mean, you look at the other writers like the Maya Angelos, the Alice Walkers, yes, and the Tony. The one common thing about all of them, they come from the South, from poverty, and Ntozake didn't. Ntozake came actually from I wouldn't say opulence, but from a family. She had an amazing life in St. Louis, but as a young black girl, she had a yearning to find her history, this idea of who am I, and so you get in the script that journey of hers in the piece And then, obviously, her interaction with women that she met in America and different parts of the country who then just came and spewed their stories about what they've gone through with men. And she was able to morph all of this into this most gorgeous and colossal work. Yeah. One of the best things ever written about women.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and you mentioned some of those writers, some of the most captivating writers certainly for women of color, globally, really. Speaking of characters, let's bring in Boitumelo Lesejane, who is one of the actresses in For Colored Girls. Boitumelo, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Talk to us about the character you're taking on.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yeah, since my director's there, I can't really say too much on my character.
Yes.
But what I will say is I'm on a journey with my character, and she is teaching me so much about self, and she's teaching me how to be strong and allow yourself to go through what you're going through and come out stronger than ever. And there's also many other characteristics that my character has that makes me be like, okay, all right, I need to pull up my weight as Boitumelo. I'm enjoying my character. And, you know, personally for me, it took a while to find her. She scared me because she is incredibly confident and she is strong. And, you know, we all do possess strength as women, as people. But I think for me personally, you know, I was always kind of taught that strength as a woman shows overconfidence. So that was something that was always in my mind. And I know it sounds so cliche, but ever since I joined this production, I was like, no, actually strength is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my character is teaching me a lot.
So I think one of the things that really stands out about this particular story is that so many women can relate to so much of the film from a very personal point of view, to an extent that some of us may even be able to relate to things that we can't publicly talk about, right? So where you see the story told of gender-based violence, abortion, sexuality, all of those issues explored for the woman of color. Talk to me a little bit about what you want the woman who sits in the audience to come out of this with Boitumelo when they come to watch you guys on that stage.
Oh, that's a very tough, loaded question. I think I would definitely love, or I would wish and hope that, you know, when you leave watching this production, you know that your healing journey, it's not a healing journey that's alone. And you're never alone in your healing journey. That's the one thing. The second thing is that using your strength for greatness while in your healing journey. And the reason why I say this is because, you know, when I was speaking to my other cast members, I mentioned that I think I'm healing. Yeah. You know, I think I'm healing through that character. I think I've received another healing mechanism from that character. So, you know, as the production goes and as people, you know, learn the different colors and learn the different characters and the stories and the poetry, there's a form of relief. And someone actually asked me yesterday, how would I be able to link a visual representation to For Colored Girls? And I said a dandelion. Oh. You know, a dandelion, when you blow it blows in the air, and it's like a form of breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out. And I would really love the women in the audience to remember that you're not alone, and your healing journey, it continues. You just become stronger each and every single day. And in that strength, there's a new self-identity that you discover. And it's a tough, but it's a beautiful thing at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, I'm imagining snot and trana in the audience, I'm telling you. I really, really am, because it's such a powerful story. Casting it, that must have been something. Talk to us about the cast that you've put together.
Well, I would love to start with Boitumelo.
Yeah.
Boitumelo, I'd never met her in my life.
Yeah.
And I was busy casting, and she was the last person to arrive. It was around 5:30, and I was really ready to wrap up. She walked in. There is something so amazing about this young woman. And I see a great career that is coming. She is so... There's a lovely gullibility about wanting to play somebody, about wanting to be in the space. She has an enthusiasm and an excitement, and so I just knew straight away that I had to cast her. And a lady called Swanky that I've seen, I've been around her, and every time I listen to her speak, I've always thought I would love to do some production. Refilo Modisele also had never met. She walked in, and I didn't even think she had an interest in theatre. She did the most amazing audition, and when she walked out, I told my assistant, I said, we have to cast a Danica Jones and a young lady called CEO that was at the Market Theatre Lab, and she's like now really just absolutely taken off internationally. Mona, this is our third production that Mona and I worked on Colored Museum that I did at the Market, where Yuma Segala composed the music. We did the Nina Simone musical that had Busi Lukhai.
Come on now.
And so I knew that I wanted her to be also a part of this journey. Spesi Kendaba, I've been watching her on television, and you know, sometimes people see actors on television and they think they're just television actors. Spesi is a graduate from Rhodes University. She studied drama there, and I can see the excitement. She's just reliving the theatre years that she went through in Grahamstown. And so it's just this combination of all these actors. Tuto Hassin I just love Tuto. She is such an amazing storyteller, and I knew I needed fire. I needed women and people that I don't have to sit and just be like this director that is completely giving direction. People are they get it.
Yeah.
And somebody once said years ago, and it's a man called Nicholas in theatre, he said, no brain, no actor.
Oh, that's
There
right.
is something about directing an intelligent actor, because by the time you meet them in the room, they've been navigating the piece themselves, and they've spent time understanding what it's about, and you get into a lovely thing of weaving it together.
Okay, where do we get the tickets? Let's get that. Where are you showing? When? How?
Well, it's already this weekend, and some of the shows next week are completely sold out. So get to our website, Joburg Theatre, and also look for us in all the social media platforms.
Great.
And just get tickets as early as you know as you can. People are just absolutely, and the most beautiful thing, I know you're running out of time, that I must say, is also just a moment of pure serendipity. We acquired the rights and then discovered that this is also a set work for grade 12.
Incredible.
And it's amazing that our young people are reading these hectic but beautiful stories.
And stories they can identify with. That's the beauty of it. Well, go and get your tickets. I certainly will be trying to do the same. Thank you so much to Boitumelo Lesejane. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, and all the best on that stage when you do kick off. I know that you're going to break a leg, and thank you so much to play director Mr. James Ngcobo. An absolute pleasure speaking to you. We'll see you at the Joburg Theatre.